So everyone is talking about Final Fantasy right now, and it's been a while since I made a video like this, but I couldn't help myself. I really couldn't. I had to make the video. Everyone's playing Final Fantasy, at least these bigger, we have these big, I hate the word. I don't know, the people that make videos, the people that stream. You have Asmongold this past Friday or Saturday playing Final Fantasy. Had like over 200,000 articles reporting that he had over 200,000 viewers. They're tracking how much money he made in these articles. It's really weird. I don't know why it's a little bit intrusive. You have Annie, she's doing great playing Final Fantasy, and with that, there's a lot of people, a lot of players asking, should I play Final Fantasy? Should I give it a try? 9.1 just came out this past Tuesday. Should I try out Final Fantasy? Which one do I play? And my answer to that has been, I think you should try it. As someone that makes WoW videos, I think you should try it. I think you should try Final Fantasy. You have Ashes of Creation, the test happening this Saturday. You have all this new MMO news. You have New World coming out soon. I think you should try these games. But I want to talk about why I think it's important and why I'm saying that. And why I think Asmon and Annie and all of these people trying out new MMOs is good for MMOs in general, and it's good for World of Warcraft if you're a big World of Warcraft fan like me. Despite the fact that I've been playing Final Fantasy in my free time at night, I think you should try it, and why I think it's good. Back in the Burning Crusade, I've been playing WoW since vanilla. Everybody says that, but I have. And there was somebody in trade chat that was just crapping all over WoW, and I was like, yeah, I hated, I played the game every day, and even back then, arguably an amazing expansion for its time, I remember wanting to play the next best MMO. It was like, since then, people have been rooting for WoW's demise. Now, I was a little kid back then, and the guy said, WoW equals waiting on Warhammer in trade chat. That was Warhammer Online. I played that game too. In fact, at that time, MMOs were coming out every week. You had like a new MMO every week. You had City of Heroes, City of Villains, Guild Wars, Age of Conan. You had Wildstar, Rift, Warhammer Online, Aeon. There were so many that came out, and I played them all. Did I say Star Wars? There were so many of them. It was absolutely outrageous. And every time one of them was coming out, there was two sides of the fence. There was the people that said, this is going to kill WoW. It's the WoW killer. You've heard that so many times before. And then you also had the people that would say, that game sucks. It's got cat ears or there's little furry things. I don't know. Even though we have pandas in WoW now and Worgans, and go to Goldshire Inn on Moonguard and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some crazy stuff going on in this game as well. But anyway, this has been going on for quite some time. And the one advantage WoW has had for the longest time, the absolute longest time, is really the first mover advantage, right? There's been games before WoW like EverQuest and Dark Age of Camelot, but WoW was the first big adopted MMO by the community in the world in general. And it had a big following already because of the Blizzard franchise and the Warcraft franchise, where some of these other games don't really have that. And because you have the first mover advantage, you get to pretty much get away with a lot of the mistakes that other MMOs today don't get to get away with, right? If there's any bugs in the game, when WoW came out, there were so many bugs in the game. I couldn't log in the game at all. I mean, that's really no different than sometimes how it is today. I couldn't log in the game. My character was falling to the earth. That still happens today. There was all these little issues. There's no real end game content, but people were so bad at MMOs at that time. Most people were, that 90% of the people didn't even get to max level during vanilla, right? It was only during TBC, or at least at the end of vanilla, that by then there was things to do. Now people are so good at MMOs, they rip through the game, they get to the end game content, they get pissed off at all the bugs, and there's nothing to do at end game because they still haven't developed everything yet, because it does take a lot of time to create an MMO. It's not an easy task, that people say this game sucks and they immediately go back to WoW. They can always fall back on World of Warcraft. And that's happened so many times that now players are very salty about MMOs, right? They think they have this experience that every other MMO that's not World of Warcraft is going to suck, so they don't even give it a shot and they crap all over it. Same thing goes with New World, right? New World, for example, I played the beta, and there were some things in New World that I thought were pretty cool, like the crafting and gathering. It was so much fun. I was just chilling in the woods with my boys, and I was just crafting, gathering all day. It's all I wanted to do. The quests in that game, however, at that time during the beta, was not that good, right? Every quest was like, slay 30 pirates, collect 30 crates. And then it was slay 40 pirates, collect 40 crates. And it was over. I mean, how many pirates can exist? There's no way. There's just the whole game is filled. I guess it is a pirate. They're all pirates. But for me, I was able to look past those issues because I started to realize over time that I want other MMOs. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but not that I dislike WoW or I don't want to play WoW. I want other MMOs so that now there's competition again. Think about it like this. And also, let's think about the irony in this. If you have an internet service provider in your area, especially if you live in California or somewhere in the US, okay? Sometimes you only have one internet service provider in your area. I had Spectrum. They suck. Spectrum was the worst internet service provider I've ever had, so bad that I had to move because I couldn't do anything during COVID. They didn't care when I called them and I said, hey, like I can't use the internet, I can't upload videos, I can't stream, I can't really do anything. They didn't care because they were the only service provider in my area. They don't care about giving you a better deal. Their customer service sucks because they know that they're your only option. And to be honest, I can't imagine a world where Blizzard feels the pressure to innovate because for the longest time, they've been the only MMO really that's been adopted by most players. There's other options. I've played them all, but in general, the hype that Final Fantasy is getting right now is something that we haven't seen in quite some time, right? The last MMO that came out that had a lot of attention was maybe Bless Online. I mean, that one, now with Final Fantasy, it's getting a lot of attention. The game's been out for a really long time and it already has a community. And I got to play the game and I've been playing, like I said, and I'm running around. There's no PvP really in the game. And I know there is, but there's not a big PvP following for the game. It's arguably, people have told me in the community that's not that great. And I don't really care about that. I'm exploring new places. I'm popping bottles of champagne. When I got my little chocobo out, people are meeting me, playing me little songs. I'm taking pictures with little cat chicks with the furry ears, and it's a great time. I'm having a good time just doing something a little bit new. Even though I still play WoW every single day, I still play TBC and 9.1 every single day. Right? That's still the thing that I love to do. But I know that if more and more people are open to trying these other games, it's only going to breed more competition for the industry, and it's only good for MMOs in general. It doesn't have to be the next best MMO. And with New World, we have this issue with the quality of life purchases that you can make with the cash shop at some point that they might introduce or will introduce. And that doesn't mean as a player that if you buy the game and you play for like a month, you should dismiss the game overall. People are looking to like marry this next MMO. It's like, oh, if it has that, I will not even play it. But there are some things in the game that might be really good. With Ashes of Creation, every time they show footage of that game, now it started off being really positive. Now everyone just spams Copium and Keck W. It looks so bad. It looks crappy. Even though it's in its alpha, there's so much negativity surrounding the game sometimes from a lot of people, right? You see it online. I'm sure the community of Ashes of Creation are very supportive of the product, but the outsiders look at it and say, this looks garbage, Copium. Dismissing the game, and maybe the game isn't even for you, but is it worth trying? Of course it is, because there might be features in that game that when you go back to your main MMO, whether it be WoW or Final Fantasy, you'll look at it and be like, hey, how come our game doesn't have that? That's a really cool feature. I wish, why don't more MMOs have this feature? Right? That's what you want. We want competition. You're the customer, and the best thing that you can do, even if you're a gigantic WoW fan, is to vote with your dollar. If you want to, if you play an expansion, you don't really like it, or you play a patch and you don't really like it, it's not your thing, take your business elsewhere and show them that, hey, I want to play your product, but I'm having a lot of fun in this game over here. If you start implementing things that I enjoy, I'll come back. You're not married to a game. It's not like it's this game or that game. You're just trying to get the best value for your money. I want to end it with this. If you're a WoW, long-time viewer, or you're a long-time WoW player, there's a lot of toxicity in WoW, man. Like the community itself, I don't mean like the players are toxic to other players, although that exists in every game. But within the community itself, there's just so much negativity in general. If I was a brand new MMO player and I went to a Final Fantasy stream and I said, hey, should I play this game? They would probably all say, yeah, give it a shot, right? If I go to a WoW stream and I'm a brand new MMO player and I say, hey, should I try WoW? All the WoW players are gonna laugh at me and say no, right? That's what would happen. That's generally what would happen, right? And if we just keep crapping on all of these new products and not giving them a chance and not trying to support competition, we're not going to get that product. We're just going to keep getting the same old copy pasta WoW expansion. I love Arena. I love WoW PvP. but it's a copy pasta, you know? And on top of the copy pasta, there's a bunch of garbanzo systems with that, you know? Things that make it even less enjoyable to experience the game, right? There's no innovation in the industry because there's no competition. And I think it's time that we change our viewpoint on that and start supporting other new projects. It's about playing a fun game. It's about having fun. That's what video games are about. It's not about picking sides. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.